What's up everyone, this is Dyzee of the Supernaturals crew, and welcome back to this introduction to the b-boy culture beginning breaking video series called How to Flip Moves. If you haven't yet watched episode 1, 2, or 3, please do so before continuing with this video. If you have already watched it, then let the lesson begin! Now that you understand the b-boy flavor and formula and know how to properly cipher, which has taught you what you need to work on, thus you are now working on or have found your technique, the next step is to begin using your creativity to flip and create as many variations of each move you learn. Your brain is a muscle, and the more you work it out, the stronger it becomes. Being original is an important value and aspect of breaking, where every b-boy and b-girl should seek to create their own moves. Those who do not use their own moves, or at least flip them, are what we call biters. A biter is one of the worst things to be labeled as in the breaking culture, because it means that all you do is copy. The universal sign for biting is the bite sign. Although there are many biters in breaking today, there are many b-boys out there that incorrectly call bites on everything. Here I will show you how to flip moves that you can make them your own. There are 3 levels to flipping moves. The first level is to change the details. The second level is to change the dynamics. And the third level is to change the concept. First, let's start with changing the details, which should be the absolute minimum in each of the moves that you use in breaking. Even the most basic moves you learn in breaking, you should be changing the details to make it yours. For example, take a basic move like the baby freeze. You can change the move by simply changing the small details of it, such as how you place your hands or the way you place your legs. It can even be the way you position your head that makes the move yours. So every single move you do, you should, at the very minimum, be trying to change the simple details in it to make it yours. However, some people will still say something like, "Oh, you only change the placement of your hand," which is the reason why I say that changing the details is the absolute minimum. Now, before I move on to the second level of flipping moves called changing the dynamics, I need to break down an important breaking concept. There are 3 parts to every move which can be flipped. First is the entrance transition into the move. Second is the actual move itself. And third is the exit transition out of the move. When you think about it, you can technically change all 3 parts to a move. But at a minimum level, you should at least change either the entrance, the move itself, or the exit. Now, the second level of flipping moves is what we call changing the dynamics of the move. This should be the average or standard of each b-boy or b-girl when it comes to flipping moves. So here, I will give you a special secret of mine that I use to easily flip moves. I call it the 8 basic ways to flip a move. Imagine that you could download an app, and every move you learn, you can record it, run it through the app, and it would create different possible variations of the move for you. For example, let's pretend that I just learned the baby freeze. I could enter my baby freeze into the app, and it would say, "There are 6 new different possible variations of your baby freeze." Wouldn't that be freaking awesome? Well, this 8 basic ways to flip a move is a thinking technique that I use to create moves out of any single move that I learn. Each of the 8 ways can be applied to the 3 parts of a move: the entrance, the move, and the exit. Which, when you think about it, 8 ways times 3 parts of a move equals 24 possible ways to flip any move. So here we go. Using the baby freeze as an example, the first way is to ask myself, is there a way that I can drop it? How can I use the baby freeze with the concept of dropping? Can I drop into a baby freeze? Can I drop the baby freeze itself? Can I drop out of the baby freeze? Now, those were just examples I was using. But you can do the same with any move you learn. Next is to ask yourself if you can spin it. which is pretty much self-explanatory. Can I spin into the baby freeze? Can I spin the actual baby freeze? Can I spin out of the baby freeze? The third is to slide it. Can I slide into a baby freeze? Can I slide the baby freeze itself? Can I slide out of the baby freeze? The fourth is my favorite, which is to thread it. Can I thread into a baby freeze? Can I thread the baby freeze itself? Can I thread out of the baby freeze? Now the previous four are the more basic ways, but the following four are a little bit more complicated to explain. So the fifth way to flip a move is to rotate it, which means to take your exact move, but to literally flip, rotate, or turn over the move in order to create a brand new one. For example, one of my first freezes was a head freeze, holding my foot and my other hand on my hip. I flipped this freeze by doing the exact same freeze, but on my elbow. So an example of a rotated baby freeze would be doing the same move, but on your head, for example. Now another example I can give is a Lego leg, taking the exact same movement, but doing it upside down. Now the sixth way to flip a move is to risk it, which is adding an element of danger or risk of injury, something that might even be painful. The seventh way to flip a move is to lift it, which is my personal weakness. It's about lifting into a move, or lifting the move, or lifting out of the move. And the eighth and last basic way to flip a move is to bend it, which involves flexibility. Not everyone is flexible, and those who are usually have special flexibility in certain areas. For me, my knees are the most flexible, so I could simply create a baby freeze by bending it. So to recap, those 8 ways to flip a move are to drop it, spin it, slide it, thread it, rotate it, risk it, lift it, and bend it. I turned the 8 ways to flip a move into a jingle so I can easily remember it. Drop it, spin it, slide it, thread it, rotate it, risk it, lift it, bend it. Drop it, spin it, slide it, thread it, rotate it, risk it, lift it, bend it. Whenever you have a move and you want to flip the move, you can simply go through the list of the 8 basic ways to flip the move to find as many variations as possible. Don't forget, you can also apply those 8 ways to the 3 parts of the move, which is, once again, the entrance, the move itself, and the exit transition. The third and highest level of flipping moves is to change the concept. However, that is a lot more advanced and requires you to have already learned and created as many moves and variations as possible. So I'll be saving that for a future episode. So to recap, there are 8 basic ways to flip any and every move, which can be applied to the 3 parts of a move. So 8 ways times 3 parts equals 24 possible basic ways to flip any and every move. And that doesn't even include changing the simple details. With that said, there is absolutely no excuse for biting. And with that said, there are so many moves in b-boying to work with, and I have just given you the basic tools to create with. As you get better at flipping moves, your brain and creativity level will begin to automatically flip moves on its own, seeing countless possibilities and variations of each and every move, which will make you hungrier to get in that cipher and exchange ideas and moves with other b-boys and b-girls. Once again, this is Dyzee of the Supernaturals crew for EasyBreakdance.com, your online b-boying guide to the dance, the art, the culture, and the battle. Hope to see you next month. Until then, keep creating, flip it, don't bite it, and remember, impossible is temporary. Drop it, spin it, slide it, thread it, rotate it, risk it, lift it, bend it. Drop it, spin it, slide it, thread it, rotate it, risk it, lift it, bend it. Drop it, spin it, slide it, thread it.